Hey everybody, it's your boy L to the Z, and you are now live with Blueprint Session. It's been a minute. I know. I've been away for a while. It's 2021, and this is the first episode for the year. I did record episodes before, but I just haven't released them. But I'm gonna release this one first. So consider yourself lucky, Ayanda, that you will be the first guest of Blueprint Sessions in 2021. Okay. First of all, hi. I know I'm being super awkward
Hi.
right now. I haven't done this before, so I'm being super weird. Um, but nonetheless,
And I haven't heard you speak this much. I'm
yeah,
always the
I never
talker.
speak this much. I never speak this much. Even though I do a podcast, I don't talk this much. All I do is listen, man. I let the guest run the mouths, which is not a problem today because we all know how much you love talking.
It's not that. It's not like that. I don't like talking. I just happen to have a lot of opinions, and considering the fact that I have friends like you, why not?
Ah,
Why
that's
not?
good. That's good. That's good. Today, I want to hear a lot about your opinions. uh, First of all, we have the the topic is clearly mental health. So we were talking. We were supposed to have started like 3 hours ago of recording, but we ended up having a conversation about life and yeah. And I'm like, it would be so beautiful if we actually put majority of this conversation in the podcast. So eventually I had to stop and be like, no. Let's start with this conversation that we started and let's start with that on the podcast. So yes, we were talking about my anger. Uh because apparently I've been
Yes.
angry lately. So, yeah, man. I've lost my temper a lot this year. I've been very snappy. Um More than I normally am because I'm normally very composed. I normally have it together, but I have
Mm,
to say that this year has really. It started off well. Started off well. January was actually a very good month for me. It's towards the end of January to
mm.
February that everything just went very south for me.
Why we gonna have an intense?
You really gonna do that? Really
I'm
gonna
just
do that?
wondering, how
Last time
can
I
one
checked, we
sort of
both
figure so
didn't have
beautifully that
Valentine's.
Valentine's is coming. Who was I singing that song for?
You were
Where's
singing
your
for me,
girlfriend?
but then you also didn't have a
Yes.
Valentine's.
Uh,
Yeah,
please
let's
speak
not
for
talk about
yourself.
things, okay?
Okay, yes, let's not talk about things in the public
Listen, let's
space.
just say if I wanted a Valentine, I would have one. Let's just say that.
Valentine's is coming. Where's your girlfriend?
No, 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 no. The question you should have asked is where is my money? Because I got to save a lot.
True. Because it's not wise to actually have a wife or a girlfriend if you don't have money.
That's really not. It's really not.
It's not. It's not,
Because
guys.
as you can see, her
It's
hair, somebody had to pay for it. Uh, yeah.
what? No.
Hmm, hmm,
Wait. Hold up. Who? What?
hmm.
Me?
No, listen,
Seriously.
the topic is about mental health, okay? And
Okay.
yeah, man, our mental health deteriorates because women like Ayanda um tend to make their hair problems our problems. So we start to lose our hair because of such things. And yeah, man, and
Point of correction. Point of correction. Women actually keep you sane.
no, they
Women
don't.
keep you sane.
No,
You've been speaking to a woman for the past 3 hours. You're forgetting that, right?
a woman, yes, and you traumatized me in that 3 hours.
What? When?
Yes, you
For
shared
three
information
hours.
I
For
do
three
not need to
hours.
hear. I'm
Then
I'm still
unhear it.
recovering from that.
Then unhear it. Unhear it.
I can't.
But You can't say that. Do you know how many times I had to endure your trauma and then I had to keep quiet because I'm the friend that's talkative. So if I start saying something, you're going to stop talking. It takes a lot
Listen,
for you to start talking. You know that, right?
listen, listen. I sense judgment right now. Okay, I sense judgment,
Me
and
judge you. Oh,
I
no, no,
don't
not the sinner.
I don't recall
Not,
reaching pearly gates, so I don't understand where is this judgment all coming from. Okay, I don't understand. But nonetheless, man, God is good. God is good. God is good.
since
I
your
mean, He
platform,
finally
I'm going to let
allowed
you
us to
have
do
this.
this
But after
podcast.
this, it's on.
God allowed us to
After
do
such a
this.
long time, hey.
Yeah, after such a long time, because I don't
After
even have
such a
any
long time,
excuses.
you've been talking to me about this. Besides that, I don't really think it's about excuses. You have to understand one thing, ne? You get to a platform of people that you respect quite a lot, and one can't just come into a space such as yours and just comes and J for the sake of it, just because I have the English and I think I'm able to speak. I can't just do that. I have to be able to understand what I'm getting myself into. I have to be mentally ready, and I have to have time,
Yes.
because these conversations, they're broad. I can't just say, hey, and I'm going to do it just for the sake of it, because you've got a huge platform, and with your
Thank you,
platform being
man.
huge, you
It's not
have
just the
things that
platform
you
that's
talk about
huge,
that I
though.
know are very relevant to society. Okay, I'm hoping that there's no innuendo in that, but it's fine. I'll let it slide since you're my friend. Gosh, guys, you shouldn't do podcasts with friends. But I just can't with you.
Listen, man, God bless me. Okay, like God is good.
Hamba,
No,
hallelujah.
there's nothing else I
I
can
want
say.
to unhear that. But as I said, we've been speaking about this. You and I have had countless amount of conversations. I think you and I have spoken more in 5 6 months than a lot of people have spoken in years of knowing each other. And
True.
it's various topics that we've touched upon. And I think when a conversation like this, you need to know what you're gonna get there and talk about it. You need to be able to understand. You need to be able to respect that platform. And besides, I got a vulgar mouth, so I had to learn to wash my mouth before coming.
And she really does, eh? Like she's not joking. She really does have one. Like I was concerned this whole time, man. I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. But it seems like I'm the one that's misbehaving all of a sudden. It's very weird. Um,
Thank
I
you.
think it's contagious.
It's a
I
good
think it's
thing that I do not feel
contagious.
like the. What do you mean? What do you mean it's
Nah, I feel like
contagious?
you right now, man. Like I'm not myself. Like something's wrong.
You know what? Since it's your platform, I'm gonna let you shine because you want to be bright in your corner, and I'm gonna act like you like. Gosh, this guy. Yes, you doing? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And like, have your party. Like, yeah,
I
be
I
bright
love
in
how
your
you
corner.
I love how you taking jabs at me by acting like the bigger person because you still throwing them jabs even though you're trying to act like you're the bigger person. I
But I'm
like that
always a bigger person. But I'm always a bigger person.
because of quarantine.
But tell me, why are you getting angry lately?
Um,
What's happening?
a lot, man. Yeah, a lot. Um, normally I don't want to share my personal information on any platform, but
Mm,
I'm just gonna speak on a more broader scale and just say people I care about have really been testing my patience. You know,
mm,
I don't like it when people come to me with problems and I give you a solution and you still don't take the solution. That pisses me off
mm.
because then I don't need to know about your problems. I think it's very selfish for
True.
you to tell me about your problems if you're not looking for a way out because that's why I'm here. I'm your support system. Your support system is telling you, let's go this way. Step out of the
Mm,
darkness, let's go into the light. And if you want to stay in the darkness, then I'm pissed off because I'm like, why am I here? Why did I come and fetch you? Because I
mm.
was comfortable in the light. Now you took me to the darkness because you called out for me. And now I'm there with the candle trying to get you and lead you out this cave that you're in, and you still want to stay there. Like, no, no. I hate procrastination. I really do.
I perfectly understand. However, I always say, when it comes to family and friends, especially when it comes to when they start asking for help,
Hmm.
there's always, I think the messed up part for me is the fact that you always need to be a mediator when a family or a friend comes with a problem, because you care about that particular person. So you can't be a mediator. All of a sudden you're taking sides immediately. But the one thing that's always helped me, and I think even in some of the conversations that you and I have had in the past, is always thinking about it in a broader spectrum. Always thinking of the what ifs, always thinking of the possible downfalls that could happen if a
Yes.
person acts the way that I think they should act. Because in a time of tragedy, especially if you care about a person, understand that you will do something that's best for that person, and will want to protect them as much as you can.
Yes.
But the only person that is needs to the only person that can protect that person is themselves. Them
Exactly.
identifying what problem they're in, them identifying the various solutions that they need to take and various steps they need to take in order to get out of that problem. And currently, um we dealing with a lot of people that don't understand themselves, that don't understand their feelings, that don't understand their emotions, and that don't understand what they want. So when they come to you, you automatically assume that they have decided. Meanwhile, they haven't.
Mm.
So that's the difference between. That's the reason why you get angry, because you know what you want. You're very specific in terms of your. We always have this conversation. You are very specific in terms of
I'm
your
very
intentions with
articulate. Yes.
people, with friends. Yes, you're not wavered. I know what to expect from you. I know if I say something crazy or out of the ordinary, I know what reaction I'm going to get from you, which is why it's very easy for me to just pick up the phone and say, hey, ish, hit the fan, because I know what I'm going to expect from you. I'm not going to expect you to pity me, nor am I going to expect you to say. But other people don't understand that about you, which is why you get angry.
Now,
you
I
know
think they do understand it. I just don't think
so
they
it
respect it.
they don't understand. I think that's the problem. The problem there is here is that you smart, so sometimes you think that everyone else is smart. Let that sink in.
Nah, I agree with you. I really do like hold people to a certain standard because I don't think anyone's
Yes.
stupid. I honestly don't believe anyone's stupid. I think people make stupid decisions, but I don't think anyone's
Mm,
stupid. Which
mm.
is what frustrates me is that people really choose stupidity over intelligence, and and I'm not even saying intelligence. Some things are no brainers, man. Like brushing your
Over
teeth
common
is a no
sense.
brainer. Brushing your teeth is a no brainer. It's something that you
Mm.
should do. But if you decide like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it, like what? Why? Especially if you
But
really
the nice
putting
thing about
people in
stupidity
harm.
that it's comfortable. Stupidity is comfortable.
Okay.
Stupidity doesn't require you to think. Stupidity doesn't require you to overthink. Stupidity is basically saying, okay, sure. Then you're done with it.
That is true.
And
That is true.
you have to understand that with stupidity, no one judges anyone else. Everyone that's there is like, "Hi, wait, these things happen," and unfortunately, that's the place that we are at right now with society. You
Yeah.
know, no one wants to call another person out on their
Out.
behavior.
Yeah.
No one wants to call a person out on 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 the things that they do that could cause downfalls for them in their lives. You know, so stupidity is really, it's like comfort food.
Yeah, you.
You get there, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm on a diet, Nanzafet Coke. That's how stupidity is. And you're gonna eat that Fed Coke and you're gonna feel good.
Yeah, I like your
You
analogy.
know?
Now I feel guilty actually. because I really feel guilty because I've been off bread for almost 2 months now. Soon as February ends, I'm supposed to be 2 months. But the other day, I think it was Monday, I had two slices of bread, and I immediately felt stupid
And it
after
tasted
eating it.
good. But that's the thing, though. I
It's
just had chocolate while talking to you, and I was thinking to myself, why? Stupidity. It was comforting.
yeah, we don't want to talk
It
about
was
you.
comforting.
We don't want to talk about
Yeah.
you
Okay.
because we know
Yeah.
I don't want
Cause
to say something and it's gonna seem insensitive.
don't,
You
don't, d- don't. Some of you people don't know who I am. Don't do that. Hey, don't.
not because I love you, my sister. Listen, man. I'm just gonna say, like, I honestly felt terrible after. Like, I was like, why did I do that? And I even had tea, which was weird because I haven't had tea in months, and I haven't had coffee in years now because I've been off coffee for years. And I just
You don't
felt
have
bad that
coffee?
whole day,
What's
man.
wrong with you? Why are you
No,
so childish? Why didn't you have coffee?
no, I drank too much coffee when I used to work. Um, when I was at my job, yo, bro, I used to drink coffee, man, because needed to be alive, So
Why are
coffee
we
was,
friends? I don't deal with people that don't drink coffee. It just doesn't make sense. Why are you childish?
wow, how did we get there now? Like,
Because you don't drink coffee. I don't. We never spoke about this part of your life where you told me you don't drink coffee.
um, you just said that I'm a smart guy, so it's a no-brainer. See,
That
this
you
is the
drink
things
coffee?
that I'm
Smart
talking
people drink
about.
coffee.
This is the things that piss me off. Okay, you're in the darkness now, telling me you drink coffee. What is this? What is wrong with you? Why do you
But
need?
I drink coffee without sugar though.
Okay, at least
Because it's a
still
caffeine boost.
caffeine.
I like it. It tastes good. But it tastes good. No,
Coffee
it's only
tastes
one
good without
spoon of
sugar.
coffee without sugar.
Wow,
Yes.
that's disgusting.
Nescafe as well as Jacobs. I'm not talking about the economy coffee, which is your Royco, but Coffee and Frisco and all of that. No, I'm not talking about the welfare coffee. I'm talking about good coffee. Tastes good without sugar.
Those are
I'm just
people's
saying.
brands, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make you understand how I'm able to drink coffee without sugar.
Listen, I'm
But
not
I only
gonna.
have one cup a day.
Okay, at
I'm
least
quiet.
because I used to have two a day. That's why I was like, "Shh,
No,
stop.
and that's why when I started using pre-workout, I started reducing the amount of coffee that I have because I then started taking steroids. Imagine me with a lot of caffeine in my body. Not good for anybody.
Wait. You drink pre-workout?
For my runs in the morning. Sometimes I don't
Really?
feel like running. Yeah,
It
sometimes I
feels
just
like
don't feel
you've
like it.
been quarantining for a year, bro.
What you mean?
Don't make me
That just flew
explain it.
past me.
Don't make me
I
explain it.
actually no. Please, okay. We will explain this offline because wow, I think I just felt a trap there.
Yeah, that was a
If
jab.
it's not a TKO, I don't know what it is.
Nah, it's not a TKO. Not a TKO. I don't like TKO people. Like, I'll give you a little light jab. Make sure you're still alive.
What?
Make sure you're still
Which
alive.
friends? Who are you
All
talking
my
about?
friends, whoever I talk to, if you're my friend, I'll throw jabs at
Okay,
you.
then I'm not included.
Why?
I'm not included
I'm
because you throw
included.
TKOs at me all the time.
No, I don't.
Dude,
You're the
it's
one
only
that
because
throws
I'm
TKOs at
dark.
me.
It's only because I'm dark. Otherwise, they would see the bruises. I would be navy.
Wow.
I promise
See,
you.
you see how we
When I,
keep getting sidetracked from actual mental health conversation.
okay,
God forbid
okay.
we will ended up having a
It's
3 hour
do not put
conversation
keep us astray.
because now we talk about color, chocolate city. Which I just want to say we're both
You know,
chocolate. We look amazing out here in
some
these
melanin.
streets.
Tell me about
Um,
it.
unlike these see-through individuals that be out here looking like
And
minions.
no. Calm
Uh,
down. Calm down. Calm down.
I'm not judging anybody.
Everybody's beautiful.
I don't know about that, but
Everybody's
all I'm gonna
beautiful.
say is there is nothing more. appetizing than chocolate. I just want to say. I'm sorry if you're not chocolate. I mean, there are
How
different
we are
chocolate
friends, I
flavors,
don't
but
know.
we all know what's the real chocolate, the original. Okay.
Like, let's go back to mental health.
Who the hell likes Top Deck? Let's be honest. Who the hell likes Top Deck?
Let's
Oh, what's that Nestle chocolate? The light skin one. What's it called?
the Milky Bar.
Yeah, Milky
Milky
Bar. Who
Bar.
the hell buys a Milky Bar?
The Milky Bar with the crunchies. And
Nah. I nearly said
well,
something right now.
everyone has their different tastes and preferences. I
That is
mean,
true. Because a lot
people
of
should
light
just be
skinned
bright in
dudes
their
are,
corner.
I mean, a lot of light skinned dudes are out here. Yeah. So I'm not hating
Yeah.
on y'all. I'm just saying, like, yeah.
Okay, as a disclaimer, guys, I just like guys. I don't care what color he is. I just love men. Men are beautiful. That's it.
I can't contest to that
I
because
don't
I
know.
think
Do you want to
women are
join me?
beautiful. Women are beautiful.
You see?
All flavors actually.
Yes.
Even vanilla.
Yes.
I love me some vanilla. I know you judged me earlier on
Yes.
for loving vanilla.
Yes.
But
Yes.
chocolate's still
No,
my
I
favorite.
didn't judge you. It just flew past me.
Chocolate's still my favorite. And kill yourself if you offended. Okay. Uh, okay. Jokes aside, now let's go back to mental health. This guys, this is how I deal with my mental health.
Yes, yes, let's
Okay,
go back.
it's humor. I'm sorry if I offended you. I
Yes, yes, yes,
apologize.
yes, 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 yes.
Oh,
That's
out
the
of
only way to
love.
deal with it.
Yes. But speaking of mental health,
That's the
let's
only way
talk
to deal
about
with it.
mental health in the black household. How do we deal with this um lack of education? Because that's what it is. Because we still don't recognize mental illness and mental health. Well, to you, if you tell your mom or your dad that no stress, like stress I know,
Mm.
that like s- like silly comments like that make makes you feel unworthy of your own emotions. Like they basically telling you your feelings are invalid and that you have no reason to
Mm.
feel anything but happy and grateful for the fact that you're alive and breathing, which is true. But come on, bro, people are allowed to feel. No one's perfect. No one can
But
be.
can I just jump in there quickly?
Okay.
Right. With the feeling part,
Mm,
I've always felt that currently our biggest problem is that even our parents don't understand how they feel. I mean, Imbilo is asked, "Hi Unjani, hi ndiphilile, akhondo." You
even though a
could be
person
at
has
your worst, but you will,
exactly still say "Philile
you
akhona."
know.
Mm,
But we have been kept to be. I mean, we have been raised to stand up there and say "Ndiphilile."
mm,
When I took it back, just I was actually on my TikTok and I had to really sit down and rewind and try and figure out what happened.
yeah.
I realized that in the past, when there was slavery, I'm talking about the black household, right?
Mm,
In order for the black household to be able to feed their families, the black, like our fathers and our forefathers and our grandfathers and all of that, in order for them to be able to feed their families, they had to work, regardless of whether or not their child is dying, regardless of whether or not the wife is pregnant. They had to be at work. You know,
mm,
they didn't have time to time out, which is why it became normal for us black people to just say "Ndiphelile accord," even though there was a lot that was happening.
mm,
And we understood why this, and as I'm saying, there was nothing wrong with what they were doing because they were trying to fend for their families, but it became a norm
yeah.
as the generations came by. People were not even allowed to talk about how they feel. People weren't even allowed to voice out their opinions or call out parents when they're acting out of character, you see.
Mm,
So we have that problem currently
mm,
that we need to unlearn and start being more expressive in terms of talking exactly about a lot of people think that mental disorder is something that you just diagnose yourself with. Mental
yes.
disorder starts from a very tender age, between the ages of 1 to 6.
Mm,
That's the one time that a child gets affected by it. And I think if you recall, I think one of our first conversations, I had said to you that um, once a child finds a coping mechanism of dealing with a certain situation, they use that coping mechanism up until they get to adult stage. When they get to adult stage, there's certain things that they can't take anymore. So
mm,
if that feeling that they had as a child happens when they are an adult, they have a breakdown. They will go on depressive mode. They will go on. They'll go. Society will call them crazy.
mm,
They will go on. They'll be sad. They'll be crying. There's arranging a series of emotions
mm,
because for such a long time they had been silent about this feeling. You see, and honestly speaking, the way that our kids are raised from the age of 1 to 6 is so important because that's when you're able to determine
but
whether or not
it's
a child
actually
will be
one to
affected by
seven.
your behavior now.
Mm,
Yes, yes. In fact, it actually gets pushed up to 10 at most.
mm.
Because understand that up
For the
and
kids,
it's a
especially.
memory. Yes. But I mean, anything that traumatizes anyone will
Mm,
stay with them for a long time,
a
because
very
you
long
do
time.
also get the people that get diagnosed with mental disorders at an
Mm,
older stage from toxic relationships, from traumatic experiences such as rape or physical or emotional abuse, or
mm,
anything that caused trauma. Because mental disorder is a series of emotions and turmoil that is happening in your head, and it shifts your behavior.
mm.
And
Mood
the minute that
swings.
people understand that, yes, and it's not even about the mood swings, Mhlobonga, pheze ngoba it's about how you are feeling. So a person will say you're moody,
Mm,
but you don't feel like talking.
mm,
A person will say we are faggot, but you want to cry.
mm,
It's something that needs to happen at that point in time.
mm,
It's just that when a person encounters it, they will say une moods. It being as a moods, it's something that needs to happen there and then. And in mental disorder, ke xa say senzeka okanye xa kusenzeka any relapse, it needs to happen there and then. Doesn't matter where or who you with, you know. But the problem is now, the problem that we face right now is that a lot of us don't want to identify
mm,
our reasons behind it.
mm,
We don't want to identify our reasons behind it, and we don't also want to. We also don't want to find various solutions to get ourselves to be on sane mode.
mm,
A lot of us are just going through life. We're not living because we want to have fulfill a certain purpose.
mm,
you know and I feel as though the people that are still suffering from mental disorder, that are living their purpose, are able to cope more than the people that are just going through life.
mm.
So there's that.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Everything that you mentioned is so solid, man. Um, but there's one thing that we have to ensure ourselves, um, for us to be able to feel, is to surround ourselves with people that gives us enough room for us to feel. Like, if you want to cry, just go.
Mm,
Put your cry your eyes out, whatever the case may be. If you want to vent,
mm,
vent. I mean, the most important thing is who you surround yourself with. Now, I'm blessed enough to have the most amazing friends. Okay.
mm,
And even though I say friends, it sounds like a lot, but it's not. Um, One of the few friends that I can mention is Justin. Justin is like my best friend right now because he's the one person that listens to me every day because he genuinely cares about my mental health, about who I am, and my goals, and he always reminds me about my goals because he
mm,
knows, like, these are the most challenging times. Actually, the fact that I'm able to even do this podcast right now is because of Justin.
Mm.
Um, so, amen. I have an amazing friend. He's just an incredible guy. I love him. And you know what's the most amazing thing? He's white. He's white. So
Mm.
the reason why I love him so much is because our friendship breaks all the barriers and all the walls that have been built around the racial barrier.
Race. Mm.
Yeah, and he genuinely loves me, man. Like he cares about me. Like Justin is the type of person, like if I say to him like, "Oh, flip, man, my headphones are not working," you know, Justin will, and I say, I'll only be able to have money, let's say end of the month. He won't even tell me nothing. I'll just get a notification from my bank saying there's money in my account. He's that type of friend. Like he doesn't
But to
ignore
add
me.
on to add on what you're saying, I think the one thing before being surrounded with, one needs to be able to understand themselves,
Mm,
understand your personal needs, understand that our needs are different for different people. I
mm,
mean, um, I know for one that you're not a needy person, but I know that when you went to Justin, you're just venting because you know that there's no judgment or anything. So
mm.
when Justin does something for you, you have so much gratitude. But you will
So
meet a
much.
person, that would actually take that for granted. So I think the only way a person can be able to identify or to be able to assist them is to be able to identify the type of person that they are,
Mm,
and then once you identify the type of person you are,
mm,
you can be able to identify quality people that will assist you in terms of keeping afloat. Because for quite a long, like for such a long time, like, sorry, like a lot of people, ne, we just
mm,
keep people. You meet new people, no, they're my friends, but they're not quality people. And they're not quality people because you also don't understand who you are.
mm,
And I say, I know that the topic of self discovery is so, it's difficult. Anyone that says to you that, hey, I've discovered myself, is lying. You don't just do it immediately. You do it
yeah.
through consistent action, you do it through prayer. And I think for me, most of the times and most of the conversations that I've had with people, a lot of the things that had assisted people in terms of dealing with mental health is prayer. You know, come on, I'm not a church person, but a lot of the people that I've spoken to and a lot of my friends and even myself, I know that, hey, when shit hits the fan, brah, pray, because in this prayer that you're doing, once you have expressed yourself
Mm.
to
God.
Jesus or to God or to Allah, to whoever you pray to, you know when you open your eyes to face reality, there's small graces that come about that say to you, hey, listen, you know
Mm,
shit isn't that bad. You see, so I think, if anyone feels as though they're a bit different, or if they feel as though they suffering through it, they need to be able
mm,
to identify what their real problem is. And as I said, there's
yeah.
different problems that occur. you know there's things such as abandonment issues, there's things such as emotional abuse, there's things such as physical abuse,
Mm,
there's things such as poverty. We go back to things such as being bullied when you were young,
bullied. Ooh.
insecurities.
Mm,
And the smallest things cause mental disorder. The smallest things, because especially with children, the smallest things cause that, because it's something that's so small, ne?
mm,
It bothers you, and it becomes a big problem.
mm,
You know, another person would be like, "Hey, wait, your big bones." You don't feel. You've never seen a fat skeleton. I mean, it's 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 funny, but at the same time, it
It's also
understand that
not
to another
funny.
person it's okay.
Yeah.
To another person that it's okay. But hi man, kule utyebile, umhlanje, and then you're thinking to yourself, if ndimhle, why don't I feel pretty?
Mm.
Uyabo, okanye you might think you're pretty, but someone comes to you and just tells you, "Ba, yo, utyebe,"
Yeah.
or even mocks you on things that you know that you cannot change. The smallest things stain a.
Person's mind forever. Is your mic?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that. Which is why I always say to people, um, for me, I okay, I've got a PhD at talking feces. I can talk feces for days.
Listen,
Um, I can talk feces for days, and I will talk feces without flinching. However, the one thing that I had to learn is, and I had to learn this from a tender age, because understand that I'm growing from a black household. Black households, bathetha nje.
mm.
Black households, you will ask yourself, are you my mother? Are you my are we even family? Am I not
They don't care
adopted?
about your feelings,
You
man.
know,
What?
they don't care about your feelings. You
You
know,
gotta, you
if you
gotta,
grew
they're
up
gonna
with
tell
big
you
eyes,
every day that you got a big
you,
head. Okay.
you know, and
Yeah.
I think with witnessing all of that, ne,
Mm,
it got me to a point whereby I had to make an impulsive decision of saying to myself, "Bah, when I grow up and I'm able to speak for myself,
mm,
the one thing I don't want to do is ever say something hurtful that I cannot take back to a person."
mm, mm. That's powerful. That's powerful.
Because understand that you might be saying something udlala,
Mm,
or you might be saying something out of anger,
mm,
but to that person that's reciprocating it, especially if that person's not mentally strong,
mm,
they will replay it in their head over and over again. Which is why even when I date, I don't date guys that have vulgar mouths. And much as I say I can speak
yeah.
faces, I don't trash talk them now.
Mm,
But I don't date guys that speak J with me, because I don't want to be emotionally thingied by people, because I feel as though that sticks on you.
mm,
And it's become crazy. A lot. I've grown up thinking that I have delayed reactions, and I've always been grateful for this, because a person would say something to me and I will think about it probably after a while. But hey man, uyandiqhela lo, yabo. But maybe after 2 hours. That's how delayed my reactions are. It's crazy. Ne? But it's helped me in most cases, because the type of relationships that I've had, even with people that I no longer am friends with or no longer have relations with, it's they can identify me, but they won't identify me as a person that is rude or a person that has said something hurtful to them, because I got to understand that whatever you say to people sticks,
mm. Yeah.
and it can make or break
Mm,
the type of person that they are.
mm,
You know, and if you're dealing with people that push you to be that person, you also need to move away from that,
mm,
because you do get into relationships whereby uzawufika lo mntu lona kuyanqundiswa okokoko, kuyanqundiswa ngonqundisa unqundisa, uyoqonda uba hey, uphele nawe unqundisa. The minute that you unqundisa with me, I'm vulgar, I know I'm vulgar, but I'm vulgar in conversation, I'm not vulgar to people. You know,
mm.
I will throw in f's here and there, and I will say something explicit, but it's never to harm anyone.
Towards
So the
anyone.
minute that I deal with, yes, so the minute that I deal with people that have no sense of or consideration of feelings,
Mm,
I shut down.
yes.
I can't. I can't. Because in my head, whatever you say to me, when I see you, I will always remember what you said to me, and I will be that person that you said I am.
Mm, mm,
And it becomes so painful, because it doesn't matter what that person can say to you. It doesn't matter how much money you can give me.
mm.
In my head, I will always be identified as that person.
Exactly.
You know, so we have a long way as just the black side, and I can only speak for the black people, because
Mm,
unfortunately I got to notice the minor triggers, you know, um, from just observing families, from just talking to friends, and surprisingly, the behaviors are the same. The
mm,
behaviors of people that have mental disorders,
mm,
they are the same. They are not the same, but they similar.
mm,
Things such as not feeling as though, like, I, they are this, like, ah, gosh. Whenever I think of the range of emotions that people are going through, because of the voices that are in their heads,
mm,
it brings tears to my eyes, because I know for one that I had to choose. I had to choose what to listen to, because I
mm,
had to identify how things are at a young age, and it becomes even more painful right now because I'm a mother.
mm,
So when I'm talking to my son, I need to be wary of what I say. If my son needs my attention, I need to be available to be there to give him my attention. If my son is lashing out, I need to be able to understand what is happening, because unfortunately, emotions need love,
mm,
and this is the type of, this is, and a lot of people that are suffering from mental health act as though they don't want love, but when they get it, they feed, but they forgetting that they have a lot of love other people don't.
mm, mm,
So you give, and you don't get, and once you don't get, you go on a mode,
mm,
which is why I always say you need to be able to identify yourself so that you understand your triggers and you understand your pick me ups.
mm,
Because once you understand your triggers, your pick me ups are going to assist you in terms of what? Leveling it out. If you don't know what your pick me ups are, join the gym.
yeah, that's the most dangerous thing. To freestyle life, not know what your pick me up is. I know my pick me ups. Okay. My number. This is a lot of people don't understand why I play games. But playing games for me is therapeutic, right? That's how I heal from a rough time. Instead of going around beating up people, I would rather shoot someone in a game, and I'll feel better. It's therapeutic for me. And music is my second therapy. Well, it's actually my first therapy.
You're
Um,
first. I was about to say that. I was liar,
I don't
pants of
know why the
fire.
hell I nearly said it's my second, but it's my first therapy.
Mm.
I wake up to music because it sets the tone for my day. Um, I used to go to bed listening to music, but then Pell and go. So I was like, no, let me rather listen to comedy before I sleep. So I go to sleep laughing. You know,
But
uh,
tell me, don't it go? You should say. I
music.
need to understand this term of umko.
It's music. For me, it's only music that makes me feel that way.
But kaloku, my question is, what is it about music that makes you feel that? Because
It's
when
the
I feel
type
as
of
though
songs we
it term
listen to.
umko, because the thing is, ne,
Mm.
I think, okay, the last time I was going was just a few days ago because of insecurities, and
Shall not mention.
it, no, we should not. No, it was because, and do note, for me, my pick me up is I talk about it. Come on now, yeah, yes.
I know.
Mna, I will hit up your phone 152
Oh
times,
my God,
and
she
if
will
you're
call
not,
my phone. Okay. She
well,
will
it's
video
sometimes you don't
call
answer my WhatsApp
and
calls.
call and send 100 texts afterward telling me how much disappointed she is in me if I don't pick up. So, yeah, she's that type of friend.
But that's the thing, though. In a way, and I always say to people that, um, as much as I know what I know when it comes to mental health, right?
Mm.
I have days where I just don't feel like canning.
And it's okay.
But when I have those days, I know my pick me ups. I know the people that are able to entertain that certain amount of behavior. I know what I can say to them. I know how I'm going to get the attention.
Mm.
And I get there and I will put it there as raw as it is.
Mm.
If she hit the fan and I was the fan, I'm going to put it out there,
Yeah.
you know, because for me, being able to identify what my problem is and being able to express myself frees me
Yeah.
from any problem or anything that any turmoil that's in my head. Which is why even in the office they would say to me, yo, everyone knows your things. Did you hide? They had it from me. I'm not gonna be flats alone. Everyone must be flats with me.
Exactly.
Because unfortunately, unlike other people, I'm able to talk about my problems and then I feel better because as I keep reiterating the situation in my head, I end up finding solutions. Not
Exactly.
everyone is like me.
Hmm.
Not everyone is like me because mnandi unchilo nchilo. Yabo?
That this is why I
But
actually call you my life coach and my therapist, because you you really have that. Talking to you is like sitting on the couch of a therapist couch, where you just talk and end up finding the
when
solution
can
for
I
yourself.
give the
That's what
invoice to?
therapy is. Listen,
When
man.
can I bring the invoice?
When I make it,
You know
it's
that
on
the
the
only
tab.
reason why I'm actually so friends with you is because I know that you and I have to have a millionaire's lunch, right?
We definitely gonna do that a lot. We actually gonna have Sunday brunch every Sunday.
You know?
Mm.
Okay, not every Sunday, because I'll be
No, every
married.
Sunday is gonna be
What do you
tradition.
mean?
No, 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 it's tradition.
Oh
All my
yeah, and it's gonna
friends,
be so cute.
all my friends,
Oh my
we're gonna gather
gosh.
every Sunday and we're gonna
Okay, but
brunch.
there needs to be a Sunday where I need to come cook because I cannot be eating your guys' food. I need to cook for myself sometimes. So I'll come cook at your place. In fact, at my place as well, because my place gonna be dope. But
Mm.
anyway,
No, we'll
um,
go to your house Saturday. Sunday is my gathering. Okay, my house. At the table, all of us as friends. Our
this is not
wives
the
will all go
platform for
cook.
us
We'll
to
go
have this
fry and
quarrel.
I'm sorry, what?
So I'm gonna be
Of
part of a team.
course. Yes, you're gonna be part of the clique, okay? You part of you part of the clique.
But okay, no, subject. Okay, let's not divert from the
We're
topic.
not. This is
What
actually
I'm
part
trying to
of mental health. Okay. Uh
honestly finding people that keep you sane.
yeah. And that's why you're gonna
Finding
be
people that keep you sane.
part of that table. You're gonna be eating at my table. Okay. There will be no Judas in my table. That's all I'm saying.
But we need to talk about the Saturday thing. Saturday I'm gonna have rugby practice
What do you mean you're gonna have a rugby practice?
with my kids
Why are your kids playing rugby?
because I'm gonna want to be a rugby mommy.
But that's up to your children.
Why are we discussing the future of my children now? When I
You're
told you I'm gonna want to be a
discussing the
rugby
future
mommy,
of your children, not me.
we're going to play rugby with my kids because that's why. Why do you think I'm taking the kids to go watch rugby now? So that he can get used to it and he actually like it. He plays with the
Uh,
rugby ball now.
I thought you picked.
Wait, take
Uh,
okay. Topic. Topic. I'm done with you. I can't with you. I can't with you.
Listen, man. All I'm saying is Saturday. Whoever's house is open, we chilling there. But we can do that after the game. If you got a game, we'll all go there and cheer with you.
But I want a Sunday as well. One Sunday, yeah.
Why do you want a Sunday? Because Sunday is my day. It's my tradition.
No, but I get that. Kaloku, you're gonna do your tradition Guam once.
Nah, bro.
We need to
Nah.
negotiate this before we get these houses because Kaloku sana andizukwazi.
First of all, okay, fine. We'll negotiate it. But
Thank you.
the
What
point,
do you mean
the
we are?
reason why
I
I
said one
chose
Sunday. I said
maybe
one Sunday.
Alogo, you're not the only friend. Other friends may have their own protest and be like,
I will
one
even go to
Sunday.
church for that one Sunday.
No, we're going to church every Sunday. That's why I'm saying Sunday brunch. I
Can't breathe.
I can't be, we fellowship in my circle. Okay, we fellowship together. Okay, we're gonna go sing Jesus is
Lion
Lord,
of
Jesus is
Judah,
King, all that. We're gonna sing all
we
that, and
worship
then we're gonna
you.
go eat afterwards.
I don't know
Understood?
why I'm always attracting friends that like church so much. I think this is a sign from God.
that your ass needs to go
Most of my
there.
friends,
Yes.
most of my, honestly speaking, like 80% of my friends, my close friends, friends that I know that even if shit hits the fan, they are there.
Mm.
Church. And I'm like, guys, guys, guys. Okay, well, I'm not anti-church. I just don't go.
Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna get you back there, but it's not necessary for you to go. But I'm saying the minute we start them Sunday brunches, though, we go from
I
church to
think
Sunday brunch.
I think you should teach me how to play the drum. Cause okay, okay, let's get to the back to the topic.
Do you want me to start discussing things? Want me to start talking about rugby?
No,
Shall we talk about
no,
rugby?
I was playing.
Okay.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
It's a joke. I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Um,
the threats up in here. But
uh,
basically, can show me. As I said, for me, you know, you and I talk, right?
yeah,
And I've been fortunate enough to have people that are comfortable with talking to me about
yeah,
a lot of the issues that they encounter. And I think this all started in 2011. I had a friend of mine when I was still also. She was a bit older than me, and I think she called me, and like what would happen is I would study, 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 and then I would 2 days before the test I'd go teach her. You know, she wasn't stupid. It's just that she she would lose concentration. You know, so I would study so that I can be able to teach her, and then she would be comfortable because with her and I, when I used to teach her at school, she'd be more comfortable and we would be able to talk through the whole exercise. So that's how our friendship was. And I remember she had missed a test. I had taught her for a good 3 days, and sometimes she wouldn't attend classes, like she wouldn't attend tests. We would be prepared, we would be ready to go right, but she wouldn't attend because she would have anxiety and she'd be scared, and I didn't understand. So this one week she called me and she said to me that she's in hospital, and I was like, okay, cool. I just sent marks. I'm like, okay, didn't really know what's happening at St. Mark's. So she's like, I got bipolar 2. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I've always been here, Mos. So I'm like, hey, check Google, right? Don't bipolar 2 because she's speaking in other tongues now. I don't know what this is. And when I got to identify the symptoms, and I got to when what I read and what I saw from her, I could be able to marry it very easily. But the nice thing is that with all of that, when her therapist asked her who she can talk to, she called me and she's like, I told my therapist that you're my compass. I'm like, I don't even know what bipolar is. Why are you compassing me? You know, because it was confusing for me, you know? So from there, because this person that I cared so dearly about said that she was depending on me, I was like, okay, you know. And I remember the therapist asking me about what happens when she has her sessions. Did you what? And then I'm like, what sessions? She's like, no, what happens when she goes crazy? Did I just look at her and I tell her to calm down and then I deal with her when she's calm? Yeah, well, and her therapist was like, that's what people need. That's the only thing that guy said to me. And I was like, oh, yeah, well. And when I got to realize how, like, as I started getting to know her, I started learning a lot of things. And it took me back to the fact that when I was growing up, I grew up with my uncle was epileptic. You know, my uncle was epileptic, so he would fall and had seizures, and then after that, he started being schizophrenic. So behaviors or different behaviors of the mind is something that I had to understand.
mm,
I don't know them, but I can be able to at least deal with them when they are happening with people, you know. And for the longest of time, I mean, my uncle started having epilepsy since 1982. He only passed away in 2012.
damn, that's
For as long as I could remember, we were taking him to hospital. We were doing everything that we could to make sure that he's fine. And sometimes with the changing in the pills, he would go crazy.
mm,
And the only thing that was required from us as the loving family was to keep calm and always be available. You know, so I don't as much as schizophrenia and all these other things are not necessarily have gotten are not necessarily mental issues,
Mm.
but anything that changes a person's behavior
Yeah.
needs a person who cares about you, understands you, to always be available for you.
Yeah. True.
Because if you're going to go through something and the people that care about you or love you are going to shy away, you're going to hit rock bottom.
True.
Which means that even for you as a person that has identified the disorder that you have, you need to disclose it. And with your disclosure, educate those people in terms of what is happening with you.
Yeah.
Because understand that a person can't help you if they don't know what's going on with you,
Exactly.
you know? And if they don't know what's going on with you, what's going to happen is you're going to get frustrated. And when you get frustrated, you frustrate them,
Exactly.
you know? So and I've met people that will say to me, Ayanda, I think I'm suffering from whatever, but I haven't been diagnosed. And I will always ask them, who did you tell in your family?
Mm.
You know, and for me personally, I had to explain these conditions to my mom because my mom thought that yindo yabantu abantu bangoku.
White people.
Because black people don't understand that
But I have white
they
people
think
problems.
unemali.
Mm.
No, but unemali, unendlu, unemoto, ufuna ntoni? Hey, nambulelo. And you're like, what? It's got nothing to do with what I have. It's got
Yeah.
everything to do with what I don't have in my head. And if I don't receive love,
Yeah.
I'm not going to feel okay. If I don't receive support, I'm not going to feel okay. If I don't feel security,
Mm.
sorry, if I don't find security, or comfort or anything, like the humanly needs. And people think that humans people think that humans need a lot,
They don't.
but
They don't.
you and I, we spoke about it. Humans just need assurance,
Plain and simple. That's all.
and assurance comes from consistent behavior.
Yep.
Assurance comes from consistent behavior. We're not saying that you need to be a doctor to a person,
Mm.
but showing that you care
Mm.
or showing them that you do care
Mm.
puts a person at ease.
True.
Showing up when you say you're going to show up puts that person at ease. Giving that person time to vent, because even when a person's venting, sometimes a person doesn't have to be an Ayanda who's going to talk when you talk. I
Mm.
talk because I got so many opinions. Like, I got too many opinions, you know. Like, I talk because, like, my saliva just drips. I just need to talk. But some people just don't need you to talk.
Mm.
They just need you to listen.
And I'm that
They
guy.
just need to, you
Ladies,
know,
I need you all to know that I'm that guy. I'm not just chocolate,
the listening guy.
but yeah, I'm chocolate that listens. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh no no! Oh no no no! But it's gonna differ because you're talking to the ladies. I'm your friend, so sometimes you're not gonna listen to. So no, you can continue selling yourself, chum. Sell yourself, regisa chum.
You already ruined the moment, man. You ruined the moment. I was in
What
the vibe.
moment?
I was in the zone. And, like, yeah, man. You were supposed to be hyping me up.
Okay, go Randy, go Randy, go
Too
Randy, go.
late. Time out. Too late. Now you're making me look crazy, and you look crazy. Yeah.
Dude, do you
Well,
think
your
I have a
hairstyle
problem with
makes it
looking
worse, but
crazy? This guy, you know what? It's only because you haven't been for a haircut for a while, ne? And we can lose 10
my
cents
hair
in
is
that
wild.
hair.
I know. I know my
W-
hair is wild.
we can
That's
lose
why
10
I
cents
wore
in that
that
hair. And I
headband.
don't know why. I don't know why you don't want to cut that hair.
Listen, man. I'm trying to grow my hair. Okay, this is the first time in my life that I'm actually growing my hair.
Okay, why do you want to grow your hair, Shaniqua? Anyway, no, I take
See,
that back, Chum. I
the,
take that
the,
back. Your
the,
your
these
grown
are
hair looks good.
these are the mental problems that we've been discussing about. where people just say hurtful stuff to you, you know, that you walk around carrying because somebody just decided to call you names that are just
What you're
unnecessary.
going through is not a problem, it's a challenge. As they say in the black
See?
community,
See?
"Ndiyakuqinisa." I'm making you strong. I'm making you strong. Ndiyakuqinisa.
Okay. Toxic.
You're
Uh,
gonna be walking around there like it's contra. It's contra.
hey, man.
But but Kelly Lonke man, you know, I think with we all suffer through some mental or emotional imbalance.
Yes. Every single person.
Unfortunately, we cannot shy away from it because we are human, we are energy. Created
Mm,
us in an image of him, and
mm,
parts of like image IKK is emotions,
mm,
some people's emotions are more sensitive than others. Other people have trained the emotions through um, prayer, through the books that they read, through the
meditation.
parents that they have, meditation, and some people even decide mamabazi destroy it through drinking, through
Mm,
drugs, through
alcohol.
promiscuity, through there's so many disruptive behaviors as koyo
Thank you.
that
Thank you.
show
The
ukuthi we are
promiscuity,
broken.
the being
Yes,
promiscuous part. Oh, thank you. Someone finally mentioned it. I've been saying this for the longest time that these people that are out here being promiscuous,
there's a
imbalanced.
void, there's a sense. Kaloku understand that I understand why it happens,
No,
but
I don't
what I
understand,
always say
but
to people is Kaloku, okay, let me explain to you for females. Ne? I'm gonna speak for females, I'm not gonna speak for males. Ne?
I'll speak for males.
um no, but you don't know how promiscuous males are. You're not
I
promiscuous.
actually do.
So
No, I'm not
have you
promiscuous.
been promiscuous before?
Hell no.
Oh my
I'm
goodness. You're
I'm a good man.
anaconda don't. Okay, cool. I was about to sing for you.
You sang the wrong lyrics there. Just want to say that, or just want to put that out there.
No, remember the day when remember when I started letting you listen to Web
See, this is the things that I'm
by
talking about.
Cardi B?
You guys need to surround yourself with people who don't play such songs for you. I cannot believe it. And every time I hear that song, I think about you, man, because you're the one that introduced me to that song. I can't stand that song, man. Can't stand it. I honestly can't. I can't listen to songs where women honestly sing about their infidelity. Like that's disturbing, man. Like why do I need to know how
let me tell, let me
how the
explain to
rivers are
you
flowing there?
let me explain to you some of the reasons as to why some women actually become promiscuous. And I'm talking about cases where
Because they got that
some
wop.
people are out of control. Wap, wap, wap. That's a wet
Okay, stop,
macaroni in a
stop. I didn't
pot.
say sing. I didn't say sing. I didn't say sing. I didn't say sing.
I run to that song. I run to that song every time I'm singing. I'm like, yeah, already. The
No,
trauma.
no. See, I'm really traumatized, man. This is the thing that I was talking about earlier on. You keep traumatizing me with this WAP stuff.
Oh gosh, I will do. Gee,
I don't need to know about your WAP,
wap.
okay?
Well,
I
you
don't.
see, you even know the lyrics. Wap,
I
wap,
don't.
wap.
I don't. I just know the
But
title,
anyway,
okay? And I
the
heard from you what it means.
I'm talking about Les reason ndithetha ngayo kaloku.
Yes. Continue with your
Certified
point.
freak. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about some of the reasons as to the one thing that I've noticed. Ne, a lot of the women, especially the young girls, ne,
Mm,
that actually start being promiscuous at young ages. Um, you know, people grow up with a lot of insecurities. You
mhm,
know, and I'll figure out what stage of ukula. Let's say uti your 1920s. abafana noko ube buqhawuka ube cute, you end up having to feel as though you are wanted, you know. And at times that feeling of knowing that you are wanted becomes a kick that has abandonment issues, especially if you're a person that has daddy issues, especially if you're a person that has insecurities. The feeling of being wanted, regardless of what you are wanted for, gives
mm,
you a kick, because after that kick is done, you look for another kick from a different person,
mm,
you know. Now we can call it and say it's promiscuity, and it is, ne? However, the scars are deeper than what we show.
mm,
But unfortunately, society, we are unable to identify it. Oh, come on. And even if that person would tell us what is happening, we would still judge that person as a person who's promiscuous, you know. So that, which is why I remember I was saying to you, but I am so afraid of having a baby girl, because I would like my baby girl to understand the type of man that
mm.
she should go for, based on the type of father that she has. With all this turmoil, like with black fathers and things like that, it's very hard to say, bah, you're going to have a man that's gonna stay, because a lot of people are very indecisive. Oh, come on, and they don't want to commit.
But why are you
Yeah, well,
giving up that
but get
right
it, it's a
to
topic of another
one
day.
that does not want to commit?
No, I. However, you must also know one thing, ne? People are very good at selling themselves for what they are not.
No, that's not true. That's not
People, no, honestly, Jonga, Mamel, a person can be able to, a person is able to front and be a person that they want you to think they are, up until a time of tragedy. Then then they will show you who they really are.
no. The problem is we don't believe the red flags when
Yes,
like
true, 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 true,
we
true. Anyway,
ignore them like eh, eh. And
mm,
then things escalate
but
because soon as that
but
person
kengoku,
sees
for a
about
person
okay
that's a
what
lover
that
like
dollar.
you,
Hmm?
but for a person that's a lover like you, and I'm clapping back at you. For a person that's a lover like you, how many times do you look at the red flags? You being a lover, you love loving,
Listen, man. Here's the thing, right? I'm a lover, yes. By
so
nature,
it's a
I
thing
love.
now. So here is the thing now.
This is what I'm trying to explain to you, hello, is that I'm the
Okay,
type
okay,
of person
but
who,
right.
when we're beginning, like in the getting to know each
Mm-hmm.
other phase, I'm looking for every red flag. Every red flag. When you telling me all the sweet things that you know that I want to hear, no, I'm looking for the things you're not telling me. How's your relationship with your mother? How do you feel about kids? How many kids do you want to have? Do you believe in marriage? Do you respect elders? Do you believe in gender based violence? Because I don't. I believe in violence altogether. You got to be able to trigger the person and make the real person come out. A wise person once told me, if you ever want to know someone, make them angry.
But my question is, do they always come out?
Yes, always. Why do you think I'm still single? Out of all the women you know, I know, why do you think I'm single? Red flags, baby. Red flags.
I just thought that you probably I gold, so you don't.
Like there's certain people that are very hard to get away even after
But
seeing
get
the
it,
red flag, but I still don't commit.
uh-huh.
Even though I may still feel you and whatnot. But for me to commit to someone that I see red flags with, I can't. My insecurities are way. My anxiety will kick in all the time.
Yeah, I think you and I are alike in that regards, because I think in most cases you will get in there, but you'll be like,
Something's wrong
like
with me.
awufika uzinze.
Mm.
You don't put your picnic basket out. You'll be like, I'll eat while standing,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
in case,
Just in case something
just in
pops off.
case shit hits the fan.
Something pops off,
you know.
I need to be
But
able to
get with
run.
with but the I think the one thing for me right now that's assisted me in terms of being able to cope, ne, is
Mm.
being able to identify the type of person that I am,
Yeah.
so that I can be able to understand my love languages,
Yes.
you know. And with being able to understand the type of person I am, also be able to understand the type of characters that I like, or characteristics that I like in people. I think in a conversation that you and I had last week,
Mm.
when I was angry at that friend of mine, I
Mm.
said to you, if I know you, I need to know that this and this and this and this is not going to happen with you. It can
Ever.
happen with the rest of the world,
Mm.
but it
You
shouldn't
said that
happen
to
with
me
you.
today. You said there's certain
Yes,
things about me that I should like. I'm allowed to make mistakes, but there's certain mistakes I'm not allowed to make.
yes,
You're right.
you're not
You
allowed to make
you
them,
goddamn right. Cannot afford to make
because I feel as though with that, I think for me last week was very emotional. I
them.
cried my
Oh
heart out
boy.
because I thought to myself, I thought to myself, um, if people that I know behave the way that that situation that happened, like I would not be able to forgive them,
Yeah.
because I got to understand my triggers. I
Mm.
understand what pisses me off, and what pisses me off is a no-go area. If you get
Mm.
to that point whereby I know, but this piss, I'm like, no, like you and I cannot deal with each other. This pisses me off about you.
Mm.
It might not involve me, but it pisses me off about you. And I think people should learn to exempt themselves out of situations in general, because some of those situations are the situations that get people on relapse mode.
Yeah.
You know, um, and also trying to save someone meanwhile you still need saving.
Mm.
People should stop that shit, eh?
Stop it. You can't.
People
You
should stop that
drowning.
shit.
You can't still be worried about the person drowning next to you. One of us needs to
Bruh,
survive.
even if you're floating and you're not sure of your swimming skills,
You-
don't.
Actually, this happened, but this was years ago. One of my friends, right? Well, there's three of us. It's me, boys, and Cage. We went swimming, right? We're at the beach, and boys is like the shortest one out of us. Me and Cage are pretty much the same height, but I'm
Mm,
sizey. Cage is very athletic, So we're good
mm,
on inside the water. Now, boys, he
mhm.
can swim, but then he's very short. So the current, he thinks he's still in the swimming pool, but now the currents are different. You can't, you can swim here, but the currents are going to move you. And if
Yeah,
you're not paying attention, you'll find yourself way offshore. Uh,
true.
Here's the thing now, he didn't pay attention to where he was. We knew where we was because we know how the sea operates. So
Mm,
eventually we like, wait, where's boys? We couldn't see him at all. So the whole time we're like looking around like, where is he? And all I saw was this hand in the middle of the ocean. And I'm like, flip, that's boys. And he was so far and that scared me. But my instincts kicked in. I went out to go and try and help him out. But when I got to him,
uh-huh.
because we were so far off, my feet were far from the ground.
Oh, flip.
And for me to try and carry this guy and still swim all the way across, it's not gonna happen because he was still pretty fat. Yeah, he was pretty fat back then. So I'm like, bruh, we can't both drown here. My survival instincts kicked in. I was like, bruh, hey man, let's try our best, but I'm not
We
drowning with
can't.
you.
That's the
And he
thing.
was panicking. I'm like,
Um,
try and calm down. But Cage eventually called the lifeguard to try and help us out,
yeah,
and they got to him. Thank God. But the point is, you cannot save someone if you yourself is in trouble. Can't.
That's the thing. And Jonga, it's crazy. You know, I know all that I know about mental health. I know that nam indozam azgabiko
In order.
hundreds. Yes, I've never been diagnosed with anything, and I haven't really taken the time. And I find so much interest in the topic because I'm talking to a lot of people. I mean, even on my TikTok, it's I've just stopped even mimicking these people, and I just started talking about a lot of mental health. Um, it has made me realize that you need to be able to choose the people that you want to be around, so that ukwazi uba right. Because the problem is, ooh, just hold on, give me a second, give me a second. So I was talking about the being able to qualify the type of people that you're with. You know, um, it's very hard because there's different ranges of. Actually, no. What I actually want to talk about are the narcissists.
Oh boy.
So there you go, qualifying the people.
So
The narcissists.
someone called me a narcissist before.
What? Big man.
It was someone who's very um big blended GBV. You know, she
Mm.
was all about it. She bought that life, and I challenged her because I told her like I don't believe in this. All men are evil and women are the victim. At the end of the day, women do a lot of evil stuff too. We can't pick and choose who's good and who's bad. The point is, both are bad. Let's look at the problem, which is violence, not the gender. I hate these conversations of if we're talking about
S-
Ingaki, it has to be
Sorry,
either
sorry. Just give me a second. The narcissist.
yes, the point that I was making.
What are your thoughts about narcissists?
I hate the fact that no, I really was hurt by the fact that you called me a narcissist because it's someone that I actually respected and someone I actually like. Yeah, well, and I was hurt by the fact that, like, mind you, me, I gave this woman a platform to come and speak about her feelings, her emotions, about what's going on in the country. Uh, and just because I didn't agree with her about the fact that men are trash, I was like, let's deal with the problem. The problem is not the gender. The problem is the behavior. Let's deal with that problem. And she took it as, "Bah, I'm defending men." I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm saying that if you say men are trash because there's rape and murder, what about the women that rape and murder? Are they fine because they're women? So let's deal with the problem because the problem
Angisaba
does not
lokuphendula
care.
Chomi. Cha, mna nawe asizuyiba nayo le discussion because mna nawe siba ne discussion pha on the WhatsApps when I want you
Right,
on the WhatsApps.
right. When I say that, let's deal with the problem because when you deal with the problem does not care about the age, the gender, or race
Mm,
because those things are irrelevant. When also do rape, you can't say, "Bah, it's only a problem if a man rapes." But what about the women that rape? What about
mm.
the women that kill?
But they were talking about majority of the cases, Chom, that
No,
are
they
occurring.
weren't. You see,
Ebeke, but
see,
get
that's
my
what
mail
I
like
hate. That's what I hate. Don't pick and choose which
look,
matters more.
what we're trying to get at is I think what happens is this they understand busukaphi and that's why in the city now we can have this conversation in the WhatsApps because I feel as though um the I- yeah nah, you know when we talk about issues as in Jena, ne,
Mm,
there's a lot of emotions that happen with people, ne,
mm,
instead of having to create awareness.
mm.
Okay, one. Because
Thank
when
you.
we talk about men being trash and
Mm,
GBV, we initially we wanted to create
personalize it.
awareness. Yeah,
Mm,
bo. But ngexesha elinintsi ke ngoku, when people are voicing out their opinions because of past experiences, okay, because
Yeah.
of things that are happening, because it hits
It's
home,
mad at their
they
project.
personalize it, and then they do not know how to, yeah, well, they do not know how to express it. Go on. So it's a pity there was a TikTok from this guy that actually explained land, where he understands why men are trash, ne?
Mm.
And he understands why and he understands the movement, but he explains it in such a way that made me say, but we're not saying onke, and we're not saying that, we're not excusing the bad behavior of a mapping, ne?
Mm.
But in order for my be effective, kusenzelwa ngela hlobo ifana nento
That's
wathi la
stupid.
mfana wayithatha wathi, it's not stupid, because my
It's
man,
very
it
stupid.
goes back to into eti, my man, like it
Mm.
goes back to into eti, yabona wena nechume my man, akhuluma nechume Joshua ne,
Mm.
nechume Joshua.
Justin. Justin.
Yo, sorry Justin, oh Justin, sure, oh,
Mm.
but
Why
but
you insult Justin like that? Call him Joshua. Joshua. Yo.
yeah, but I know Justin zinto na namagama famous. I
Can't
know
even
you
stop
can't with me.
Okay.
Oh, look. But what I'm trying to get at is, yeah, he says that ifana nalando ethethwa about abelungu bengabafuna abantu abamnyama and the apartheid and all of that, then he's not saying that all white people are wrong, because for instance ngoku wena unetrome Justin,
Yeah.
as much as umntu angathukisela athi abelungu basibona as abantu abathile, kukho abantu abafana noJustin aba-right,
Who
ne?
don't see
But
color.
the
Yeah.
statement in itself, the statement in
Is the
itself is to
statement
create
in
laa nto yokuba
itself is
black man.
wrong. That's my point. It's the same thing esiyenzayo thina abantu abamnyama ndithi. We say white people are racist, but white people are not racist. Racists are racist because there are black people who are racist. Bakhona abantu abamnyama who hate black people, who hate white people. There are colored people who are racist. There are Indian people who are racist. So why do we categorize racism with white people? Why do we create a
Ngoba
rape as
yayiqale
into
kubo,
amadoda? It doesn't matter who
yayiqale
started it.
kubo.
It's irrelevant,
It
Onto.
does matter.
It
Kaloku
does
ndibuyela kwinto ethi
not.
kaloku we're at a point of unlearning. We are at a point of unlearning, because the thing is, wena ngoku you making it
That's
seem as
what we
though
need to
kuthiwa
unlearn,
it's a
Alo.
current thing, because abantu are angry.
The
Abantu are
anger is
angry.
irrelevant. You can't solve problems
It's
with anger.
irrelevant kuwe kaloku, because when you don't feel it, and I understand, and
No,
you're well
feel
within
it.
your right.
I'm a victim.
You're well within your right of into
First of all, huh?
ufumene ivanileke wena, so awukwazi, that's the only victimization
No,
of
no,
men.
no, 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 no. We're not
Yes,
gonna do that. We're not gonna
yes,
do that. We're not gonna do that.
yes,
No, no, no. I know a lot of
yes.
people are gonna judge me because I've had Napoleon ice cream. But listen, man. Uh, the point is, the point is, um, you can't solve the problem by causing more problems
Mm.
because now you can't ask men to be on your side when you are saying men are trash. Because I'm not going to be offended because I know for a fact that I'm not trash. But there is going to be a man who's going to be offended and be like, "Sukake, I'm up in Masilemus."
Kodwa ke mhlobo, mna I can never stand there ndithi ndiyabadefenda, because I know a lot of good men. No,
Mm,
I know a lot of men,
mm.
but I know a limited few
I'm
of
definitely
good men.
number one in that list. Like, I'm an amazing man, like incredible.
I just puked in my mouth and I swallowed it again. Why? Because I'm dirty like that.
Because
Anyway,
she's got that wop or something of that nature. I don't know.
whap, whap, whap.
Okay, stop, stop,
but,
stop, 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 stop.
but what I'm trying to get at is, it's 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 unfortunate, yeah,
Mm.
and I don't think this is not something that I would even have it debating ayo now, ne?
Yeah,
Because
we've been doing this a little too long. We're not going to debate.
besides that, besides the debate, it's just it's the society that we're in right now.
Mm.
Abantu bakhathali.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that aba balungileyo bayagqumelelwa ngaba, because koyikwa wonke umntu,
Mm.
uyabo.
Mm.
despite of like you would even get scared of umuntu ongakwaziyo. You're a big guy.
mm,
Umuntu ongakwaziyo kube kukho umntana omncinci kube kusebusuku
mm,
akazucinga uba oh my goodness uyamnceda laa mntana.
mm,
Uzawucinga enye into. Why? Because that's the society that we are living in right
mm,
now.
mm,
Okay,
yeah.
so this is why in the city we can argue this sibe njengale bandana yakho sibe blue,
Mm,
uyabo,
crepes.
but aba bantu basimosheleyo
Mm,
ngabo aba abenza kube nzima uba mazitshintshwe ingqondo, kube nzima uba abanye abantu mababheke down. And I think another thing is a lot of people also need to be able to give props to it. I mean, for the people that are good, for me it's so nice being able to just call out my friends. DT, I
mm,
was posting a friend of mine recently. Ebe poste a picture
mm,
when I have to have situations like that where I'm able to celebrate my male friends for being available fathers, I weep because I know that we're not supposed to be
you're
celebrating
not supposed to be
fatherhood.
celebrating that. Like,
I know we're not
like you
supposed to be
said,
celebrating
but
fatherhood, but
because
ingxaki is
mm,
abeko.
yeah, and it
Ingxaki is
actually looks
because
beautiful when you see it.
yes.
Mm.
Ifana ukhona omnye umfana wakhe wathi kumba I'm a single father, why don't you think daddy but listen lakho, what do you mean? Oh come on, like
Hey man.
why do we have to have that why do you have to it's listen lakho, you decided to have sex all of a sudden boom got to boom do something. I mean,
Mm.
why should I celebrate you for that?
But I can't blame him though because
No, no,
women
no.
do the same
In
thing.
like but he was looking for it. In my
No, but
head
women
I
look
was
for
giving
it
him
too.
props. No,
But
I don't think that they should, because women can't really run, where they do run away from the responsibility, but they can't really run away from the responsibility
no, you're not
because
hearing
Nana
me.
gets stuck with them.
What I'm saying is, bah, I can't really blame him because
Hmm.
y'all, okay, not you, but a lot of women do that. They post their situations on social media looking for validation that Babwana, they're great mothers because they're single. But at the end of the day, I says Tetinyan, like I honestly don't feel sympathy for them.
I don't like being a single mom. I fucking
Hell,
hate it.
of course you should
I
hate it.
fucking hate it. It's exhausting. I like. I don't. Jongane, a person can judge me all they want.
Mm.
I am sorry. There is no way I'm gonna have another child being a single mom. Like fuck that. Like Utuko can just keep his kids because I'm not doing that.
Whoa,
It's fucking exhausting
calm down.
to the extent that no. But this is the thing though. It frustrates me
Mm.
because it's one of those things whereby you get exhausted. Sometimes you just want to sleep and
Mm.
not think of the fact that you have a human.
Mm.
Actually, no, not even sleeping. Sometimes you just don't want to worry alone, knowing that
Yeah,
the worry is divided.
I'm glad you
It's like
trust yourself.
it's like sitting there and saying uh, uh it's like having a mom maybe by
Mm.
four.
Yeah.
When you're the only child, she's your burden. But if there's four of you, you guys can share it. Not that you love her less.
Yeah. No, I get you, man. It does take a village to raise a child, man. It honestly does. Um,
You know,
the thing that frustrates me there about single parents is this thing of, bah, I'm a single parent, but we forget one important thing. You got yourself there. We can't overlook
that's the
that
thing.
part. You got yourself there. But so lapang,
That's
we're
the
not gonna
reality that
dwell
I had
about
to
the
face from
past.
myself. So,
We're not gonna dwell on the past. But let's deal with the fact
mm,
that you're a parent now. Music
mm,
house, music house.
because that's the thing. In my head, I'm always saying, "Bah, I think mna." I was fortunate. Utakandinani
Mm,
wandifisisela ndisemit.
mm,
So I had to really change my mind, like my way of
early.
thinking. So early,
Mm,
like I didn't have a chance. I didn't even have the chance of once again Denzel Love lives here. Okay, Denzel photos got Pollock ndihamba ngeenyawo.
There was no
Kumele should
baby pictures, nothing, man. No pregnancy
none,
pictures, nothing.
none. I was literally walking around with evidence of having sex. Period. Yeah. So
To all the listeners, man, this is Ayanda, man. Like, yeah, this is her all day. This is the person that I normally talk to. The
so
facade is gone now. You meeting her now.
I forgot about this shit. Forgot about it.
But
But
the important thing is you did warn them.
yep. Oh yeah, yeah. I did. I
You
did. I
did warn
did.
them.
I did. Jonah, as I said, everything happened at God's speed.
Mhm.
And the only thing I had to do was realize where my blind spots were.
Mm,
Blind spot yam iti, kang a condom. Blind spot yam iti, you were sleeping with a guy that you didn't really know, Kat. A
mm,
blind spot yam iti, you weren't on contraceptives. A blind spot yam iti, you didn't have morning after pills.
mm,
A blind spot yam iti, you did not abstain.
mm,
So I literally had five blind spots that I could not, that I could have controlled. Nah,
mm.
yeah, so from there on, I was like, okay, in fact, you know what? Ndizayiyeka le situation ndikuyo.
Mm.
Let me just take care of this human. And I'm not gonna lie, the minute that I shifted from the baby daddy to the child, ne,
Mm.
parenting became beautiful for me.
Come on, man. Come on.
I'm
I
not gonna
applaud
lie,
that.
I enjoy every minute of being Makandinan.
Mm.
It's exhausting. Don't get me
Mm.
wrong. It's not something that I had wished I would do alone.
You see, that's the thing. There's nothing
But
wrong with being exhausted. Every human gets tired no matter what you do. Every human gets
that's the
tired.
thing. But ndiye ndithi xa ndibuzwa ziitshomi zam zisithi yhu cause uTangantine masimgqibele ndandiqala umbona ngoMatshi nge-first kaMatshi
Mm.
ka-2019, 2020, 2020. Mna nam ena-3.
Mm.
And everyone would ask me prior, ba, if you'd see him, what would you do? Did I wouldn't do anything. I would just
See?
be like, "Kavulusu ndupuzi sende eli," because you gave me a beautiful baby. That was it. That was the only thing I wanted to do.
See, here's the thing, Yabo. You see how society is trying to make you into a bitter black woman. Like, why ask someone, what would you do if you see them? Why is that a necessary conversation?
I think it was a necessary conversation because of what would happen when I was in the street, like in the streets, and
No,
the
it's
conversation, like
it's pure
it.
that you're gonna
And
bump into each other at some point in life.
but I always prayed that I wouldn't.
Obviously,
That's the
nobody
one thing
wants
I
to see
prayed.
someone that you have a problem with.
No, besides that, besides having the problem, I just felt as though I had not, Johnny, I had gone through it, ne?
Mm,
But I felt as though e, e, I think the greatest part of my healing process in terms of being a single mom would be would be being able to find someone that can be able to model the qualities of a man for my child.
mm, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Okay, one.
Mm,
Because unfortunately, I cannot be a father. I
unfortunately.
can buy dildos or strap-ons and act like
Okay,
I
let's
have a
stop.
penis, but I cannot
Let's
be a
stop.
father.
Let's stop.
No, I'm just saying.
But I
Okay,
get
one.
your point, man. I get your point, and I'm with you. I'm with you. The thing
Because
is, the sad thing regarding this whole thing is that while everyone's walking around bitter, is the child has the stain of an absent father already.
mm,
Don't add an emotional and unstable mother on top of that.
mm,
It's bad enough they don't have a father, or it's bad
true.
enough if they only have a father and don't have a mother. But that's why the minute you become a single parent, all bets are off. You gotta pull all everything everything in your life stops. It becomes about that human being because already Lamnana. I don't want to say they have a disability, but
They
Point is,
starting off. They're not starting Ilanu Momi at an even
yeah,
slate like
they're
other
starting
kids.
at a disadvantage. Like
Mm.
akumnandanga kubo, because when they sitting with their friends and their friends are like, "Oh, my dad, this, my dad, that." Akumnandanga. I grew up with that. My dad died when I was very young. But the point is, akumnandanga xa netshomi zakho, everyone's talking about their
Hey,
father, and you're like,
Sana, ingathi bekuzawuba better uba bedayidile lapha bhuti, because Sana le yokuba okay, not okay, no, actually, but uba bedayidile at least benzoba nenophendula. Do you know how scared I am of that question?
mm,
I haven't received it
mm.
because because I've got family, I've
No,
got
he's
my
still
mom,
young.
I've got my
He's
like.
still young.
Besides that, the house is busy.
Mm,
Besides the age, the house is busy. So there's always someone, and with the house being busy, everyone cares.
mm.
So ayikho laa nto yokuba kukho umntu ushotayo. Uyabo?
It's not even that.
Now
It's society that's going to make him question.
nditsho kaloku uba xa ifika kwelaa xesha ke ngoku
Mm.
uzothi xa endibuza ndithi, hey boy,
Nah, that nigga
yho.
ain't here.
No, that's the thing though. That's the thing. How do you position that to a child, ne?
Mm,
That will not make them feel Jonga, honestly speaking, as much as I wouldn't want to tell my child that their father has passed away, ne?
mm.
But I feel as though making them understand that
The
is
nigga
is
is
would
alive, but
would
he
would make me feel much better than having to say ba na
just
yeah,
doesn't
bo.
mess with you like that. Yeah, that's hard.
That's the thing.
That's hard.
Oh come on. How do you feel a void in Jayana of saying
Hey,
um
shut up.
no nanti ice cream but you can't have it when I lenga ngapha ko first year,
Mm.
because that's how it feels for me.
This
Ndithi
is the
kuye nansi ice
question.
cream nansi
Mm. This is the
masikhalisa
question.
umculo, must speak like
This is the
must
question.
speak.
But this is all mental health problems, man. And I always feel for children, honestly speaking, man. It's one thing to grow up without the parent who's not there, but when that parent who's there is not there mentally because they worried about the person who's not there, that frustrates
Yeah,
me.
well,
That honestly frustrates
and
me.
I think for me, I've always said, honestly speaking, a lot of people want to have kids, né?
Yeah,
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to have kids.
beautiful.
But stability in having kids is
This
very important because
very important.
understand that not only kuwe but nobabini,
Mm.
because you know yahlekisa, yazi having invalid sex kind of makes you even know the Bible, because I had no reason to do this shit. Man, um andiyazi baziphi, andizazi mos iindawo zasebhayibhileni lapha, ndiyayazi uba ikhona izinto ezithetha ngezi nezi nezi apha here and there, but it speaks about a man having to find, he who finds a wife, ne?
Mm.
Obviously when a man finds a wife he becomes committed to that wife,
Mm.
and then they start having a family, ne? Because obviously when he's committed to the wife they start to build a family up and then they have children, ne? Many of times thina siqala okay, no, ndingathethi ngothini, ndiqale ngeyesibini mna, ndathi ngoku ndingafumananga commitment, ndathi build children. Ndiyiunderstande ngalaa mini ibhayibhile uba yho, kakade kaloku wena
Order is very
ubusenzi-defiance.
important. You learned order is very important, very fast. Like,
Yes.
yeah, okay. I understand why it's one,
Andijonga,
two, three.
andijonga, ndaphinda ndabuyela kwinto ethi to show that that order is really important. Ikhona laa nto iqhela uthethwa kwabantu abangamaXhosa, kuthiwa yhu xa wena xa intombi imithi indoda iyanqumka, abantu abatshatileyo abanqumkelani. Zange ndayibona indoda etshatileyo enqumkayo. Why order?
Mm. Mm.
Uyabo? Qha ke asifuni uyibona ngabhoko kaloku sifuna uthi carry on with the burden. Uyabo?
Exactly. We want the pleasures, but not the.
Uyabo? But I'm going back to this thing yokuba it's It's crazy. And I've always said, the universe will always give you answers. And it's a pity. I was talking to this other gentleman, and we were talking about philosophy and the Bible. And I said to him, I don't read the Bible because of various reasons. And once Moses opens the Nile, I'm like, sure, guys, this is enough Marvel for me. It's good. Yeah, well, yeah. But when we talk about that and how it happened and how Moses manifested by makadlule pha namajumbos akhe, it goes when you talk about philosophy, its power of manifestation is if you focus on something and you work on it for long enough, iphele isenzeka. Umozi wamanifesta uba yhe mfundi funeka sihambile apha because kaloku iyashuba back there
Hey, one
in
of these
the
days we need to
places.
talk about how difficult Moses' life was, man. Yeah, I think he's the most. I think he deserves more respect more than anyone in the Bible. Honestly speaking, that man freed slaves and then had to walk with them for years. Do you know how
Yeah,
it
funny.
would feel? Do you know how traumatizing it is to talk to slaves every day, telling them you are free?
And babe bengabaleki ngoku bekuthiwa we-free babe behleli
Shit.
besithi what should we do for you.
Remember when they said, "Yeah, I want to go back, man. I'd rather go be chained again and work and just eat bread like I used to, whatever the case may be." Imagine dealing with that every day. Something
I
that was
think
supposed to
people are
take
like that with their bad
40
relationships as
days
well.
took 40. What's supposed to take what the trip that was supposed to take 40 nights ended up taking 40 years. You know why? Everyone judges Moses for that, but I'm like, he was with slaves. Imagine you the only sane person surrounded by slaves. Can you
I think
understand the
that's how people feel xa
mental
bengafuni ukwahlukana nabantu bakhe abantu babo abe
and
sithi behleli.
and everyone judges Moses because he lost his temper once when he struck the rock, which was still light to me. I feel like God was very harsh on Moses, man. How do you how do you tell this man he's not gonna see the the promised land just because he struck a rock?
Okay, look, it's all about ilantuka. I think in a way, ne,
Nah, David was worse, bro.
um,
David was
consistent.
worse.
You know when they say you need to have faith and engage in consistent action,
Uh,
I think that's also very true of the amount of e-tempas manai
mm,
towards everything, you know. And I think that is why God had said He's not going to see the promised land because that one time his faith was wavered.
mm,
Yeah, but it was shaken, not wavered. It was shaken.
mm,
Yeah, but so it goes to show the laws of the Bible are there.
mm,
Yeah, but it's just that sometimes ke ngoku nathi siyazilibala because ubuntu bethu takes over.
mm.
Yeah, but and when
It's
ubuntu bethu
hard.
takes over, ubuntu bethu is filled with doubt. Ubuntu
Mm,
bethu is filled with all the sins ezinto ezikhoyo kwalapha emhlabeni,
mm,
and ubuntu bethu makes us forget the reason.
mm,
Yabo. And in this case, the reason is wayebakhulule ngenxa yemiyalelo kabani? Kathixo.
mm,
Wayenza yonke le but somehow naye wayilibala where he was.
mm.
Yeah, so it's one of those, and I think it's also a way of showing that our actions, as much as you can do something once, our actions have repercussions,
Mm. And they do, eh?
regardless of whether or not you are good once. Because according to didn't think I won, but
Sure,
ekugqibeleni
it
you did
doesn't
it.
matter. Yeah, but one thing that I love about the Bible, ne, is that it teaches us one important thing. God forgives, ne? But
Hmm.
El Sona that he's forgiving still has consequences.
Yes,
Still has
yes,
consequences. Do not think
yes.
just because you're gonna walk away scot free. No, no. Otherwise, then we wouldn't learn. Honestly
Which is
speaking.
why I always say to people, ke ngoku uba that's why I always say kwabantu ke ngoku uba kwakuyibiza le nto kwakwizinto ozenzayo. You know, people don't want to do good
Mm.
and they don't understand how good it feels to do good.
Oh
People
man.
don't want to be nice.
Mm.
People don't want to be nice, and
They
they don't
think it's
understand
too
how good it
taxing.
feels to be nice.
Mm,
You know, um, I was talking to a friend of mine, no, Ayanda. Ayanda is he's a Zulu
it's
guy. Oh god,
Ayanda's.
so many Ayandas in my life.
Exactly.
Fuck. But Ayanda is married. Wait, again, and I was saying to him, Ayanda, I'm at a point whereby being nice for me is a thing
Mm,
because being angry, and I was talking about it, Namhlanje,
mm,
because being angry requires you to calculate. You can't even laugh because you have to keep composure of anger.
exactly. Mm,
You know, so a lot of people will be like, no, okanye umntu does something, okanye does not treat the person the way that they want to be treated, okanye does not treat
mm,
other people's kids the way they want to be treated, and then they'll be like, "Hi, mama, what? You're not there to punish that person. God's gonna punish that person. It's got nothing to do with you,
mm,
you know." And when those things happen, because there's a story I always say to people, especially about Nganai, and I don't know if I've spoken about this with you when we were talking about your temper,
mm,
because I think that story came in my head. Wakhona umama, lo mama lona wabulala umntu owayebulele, oh, wabulala umyenakhe, ne?
mm,
Ekubulaleni kwakhe umyenakhe, wabanjwa, wafumana imali ezilantuka, wabesithi asikaye wethu, andikhathalelanga.
mm,
Laa mama wayebathanda abantwana bakhe kakhulu, ne?
mm,
However, ngokwasetrongweni,
mm,
abantwana bakhe bayi-2 basweleka.
mm,
Ngoku wayesithi, hayi wethu, akukho nto endiyidingayo, yonke into endiyifuna irayithi.
mm,
Abantwana bakhe bayi-2 basweleka. Wa-aplayela into yoba makahambe ayotsho emngcwabeni wabantwana bakhe
mm,
abathandayo kakhulu.
mm,
Wathi ulanuka, no. She died of a heart attack
mm.
because her heart was so broken.
Kuba
Because
angakwazi
unongabethi
uyinakekela.
wena,
Mm,
unongabethi wena,
mm,
but he will always go beyond below the belt.
mm,
So everything we do has repercussions, and
consequences. Mm,
and I even said it to a friend of mine when they were saying to me, "But no, Dibone, dun, dun, dun." And I was like, "Listen, please, whenever you see my offspring co-creator, because
mm,
that's what I call him, don't swear at him.
mm,
That the universe takes care of that for me. Don't do it." And they're like, "No, Yan Pamalis did it." Don't do it. The universe deals with things because I know that when the universe deals with them, I'm clean.
mm,
I can still be able to look at my child and be happy,
mm,
knowing that akho nto endiyenzileyo ndisithi it's in the name of you.
mm,
Wenze into in the name of you, ugqiba kwakho uthixo athathe lo name,
mm,
lo of you wakho uthetha ngaye.
mm.
So that's the crazy part about the
Hard.
universe. And people don't want to understand it.
Yeah, they honestly don't. They overlook it, man. They honestly want to take the law into their own hands. I don't even mean this law of human law. I'm talking about the law of the world,
The law of the
because
universe.
uh, karma is real, man. Karma is real. People
Funding.
think just because someone rapes someone today, there should be an immediate response to that person right now. I know. For for a lesson to be learned, you are given room to change. That's one thing I love about God. Like, you could perform the most heinous crime right now, God will still give you time to get yourself right. But the longer you take to get yourself right, the harder the consequences are. Because when God
Yeah, good
strikes, oh, I'm telling you,
day.
it's hard.
Got that. I
It's hard.
don't think that I don't Jongane, I'm not I can't fight to save my life, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been watching Kung Fu Panda, I've been watching Romeo Mr. I've been watching everything. Shit doesn't work. Like I can't. It's the mathematics of fighting that just does not embark with me. And I've I've
Well,
accepted it, you know.
it's beautiful that you're not violent. You should be proud of yourself. I
No,
hate the
no, no,
fact
no,
that I
no. Ima,
got hands.
wow, Ima. Sweet is beautiful that you. It's not even about being violent. Ndioika.
Okay, you're a punk. Okay, fine. That's a
No, no,
different
like,
conversation.
I'm a punk. I'm a happy punk with no fucking scars.
No, 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 no.
I'm a
The
fucking
problem,
happy.
the problem, because like you're a punk. If someone else knows that you're a punk, they gonna punk you. One thing that
That's
I
the
love
thing.
about
That's how
myself,
you think.
I no 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 no. That happens. Right now people
No, it's
don't know
no, it's about
because of
dating.
the way
It's
no no
about
no no no
dating.
no no
I
no
will run away
no
successfully.
no. No.
I
The
will run
problem
away
is
successfully.
the problem is how you carry yourself. When because of the way you talk, I was shocked when you told me that wow, you can't fight. Remember the time when we had that phone call and you told me you couldn't fight to save your life? I was like, what? The way you talk, that's why they say that's why no one like obviously steps up to you and try to box with you. Is because based on how you talk, they probably think you got hands. Because that's what I thought. Because Teta, you're very aggressive, you're very vulgar, but obviously in a loving way. But at the same time, another person may think, hey, not better. So let me not play with her like that. Me, on the other hand, I'm a nice guy all around. People test me all the time. But
I'm a COVID. I'm a coca.
people test me all the time. And then when I switch up, and then they're like, whoa, I didn't know that you like that. I'm like, no, you pushed me to be like this. I'm an all around nice guy. I mean, I will laugh with you while you're disrespecting me. But the minute the laughing stops, you can't play victim anymore because you pushed me to be
Yabona
that
ke?
person.
Kaba Romeo must die abo.
No, no, no,
Majempu.
it has
Udibane.
nothing with Romeo must die. The point is, I respect all life. Like a perfect example, right? Gay people. Because of my spiritual beliefs, I do not necessarily accept their preferences, but I still respect them. I still love them as people because I can conversate with them. But here's the thing that always pisses me off, right? There are people who want to be woke, people who want to look like they're progressive, who will always speak on their behalf and come at you aggressive just because you don't agree with them. Just because I don't agree with me does not mean that I hate you. Don't label me. Like I hate this thing of people just labeling people just because they have different ideas or different beliefs. Like I freaking get along with Muslims. We get along. I think they're the most respectable people ever. Muslims. Like I respect them. They beautiful people. They very respectable people. Yeah, well, spiritually we do not agree with each other, but we can still sit down and respect each other and have a conversation. The thing that pisses me off, right, is the supporters of the LGBT, not the LGBT. The one thing that I've noticed is not the LGBT that's the problem. It's the ones that want to look like they're on the side, that comes to you with torches and forks and ready to kill you just because you said that lifestyle ain't for me or I don't believe in that lifestyle. All of a sudden, they label you as a hater or homophobic. Like, don't label me as homophobic. Do you know how many gay people I talk to? Do you know how
Do you know
many?
what I've noticed, Mike, about the hey, but the gay man? There's little kama LG and LG Lewin.
Mm,
I think I noticed this once I started being friends with a friend of mine who
mm.
happens to be lesbian. Oh, she's a beautiful soul. Um,
They're actually
I
beautiful people.
the Jonga, besides the coolness, ne, I got to umnage. I've been blessed, and I'm really blessed. I'm really blessed to be able to identify wonderful souls.
Mm,
Yeah, well, genuinely wonderful people. I mean, um, it's very rare that I attract assholes. Assholes and I always clash. Oh, come on, and I think once I met this friend of mine, I got to realize how same sex relationships went about,
Mm,
go about. Yeah. Um, the I will use an example. When no Tobis, Justin, you guys are
mm.
friends. You guys, okay, look, I had to remember the name.
So disrespectful.
um, you guys are friends, ne?
Mm,
And you guys genuinely love each other,
yes.
ne? Now, those are souls that are connecting, ne?
Mm,
With I've noticed that people are in love with souls and not with gender.
mm, mm,
That's what I've noticed, ne?
mm,
Imbajo yethu senza sibe in love with gender, ne?
mm.
But people are in love with souls,
Yes.
not with gender.
Mm,
Yeah, sometimes you find souls that are so good that you will not only just take it to the level yokuba nibe ziitshomi, but you will take it further, because the one thing I've noticed about the genetical behavior is
mm.
that once umntu you just want to go all in, you want to be in them.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So um once I started viewing same-sex relationships as okay, gays and the understanding ne?
mm.
And from understanding I think gays it's more
Don't
attraction.
try.
I don't know. I'm not,
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
trying to understand it.
because no, I'm not gonna try. But I'm going back to this thing about what I had figured
Mm,
from, because I'd always ask myself, why is it that straight women end up having to, because Jonga, I guys bani bet lesbians. Machira matle? Yo, Jonga. But anyway, as collab.
but I don't want to get into
Nizashiyeka
that
nombimbi benu.
conversation. I want to
No,
say
it's
something,
fine.
but I'm like,
Nizashiyeka
nope,
nombimbi
I'm not
benu.
going there.
No,
I'm not going there.
nizashiyeka nombimbi benu. Silapa guys, for you guys, all
Listen,
ever.
I'm
We are
comfortable
here.
at
We are
sevens,
ready.
eh? I'm comfortable at sevens. At best an eight, but I don't want to go higher than an eight.
Why?
No, that's too much. No, that's too much stress.
It's too much. Is this stress? No.
Listen, I said I'm not going to get into this conversation. Okay. Listen, we need to close this podcast. We've been doing it for 2 hours now.
Jonga, we've
Let's
been talking.
for
Sesilibeyo nale nto besithetha
it's
for the
been
past
what
5 hours.
past 5 hours.
5 hours.
Yeah, god damn.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to get a girlfriend.
Why?
This is shit.
Oh, just because you got a boyfriend now, all of a sudden now I need to get a girlfriend. Okay, okay.
Kusamandla
You're taking
uzuyigcina
that.
empilweni.
Listen, man, the Lord is my the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. I love Jesus.
Hamba Moses. Hey, you Moses, Moses.
Hell no, I'm not Moses, okay. I don't want to be a Solomon though either, because yeah, Solomon was wild. Neither like Solomon and David were my favorite people, but I hate the fact that they were womanizers. Like I honestly hate it.
Jonga, Jonga, do you know what? Khona omnye umfana wayephaa emsebenzini ebemtsha kwathiwa igama lakhe nguSilas. So now I had to literally just
Silas.
Google who Silas is. Yeah, he's in the Bible, Silas. USilas ngulo wayekhapha u I forgot who he was capping, but he was accompanying a person who was staring at Bible. So now they're like, so
You did not just say that.
what? It's true, Mercy.
Stereotype.
Guys, I know he's daring the Bible.
Uh,
Moses, Joseph, Samson, Balo, David.
David,
Is that this daring?
Solomon, Peter.
Yebo,
Uh,
Delilah, into ezaziwa ngezibuko mntanam.
Delilah
Ngoku
was never
abantu
staring. She was a villain.
kaloku sistering waziwa ngezibuko, why creative flames, what dla 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 dla. I despise
She
the
had that
Bible.
wop, bro.
You know,
Delilah had that
wap,
wop.
wamdi macaron. It's
I can't
but
believe it's
like,
Samson, bro. God gave him super strength, bro. And you,
nawe nje ubunokuwa,
nah, not me.
nawe nje
Not me.
kaloku wena unayipotential uba whipped,
Ma,
ubunokuwa now.
No, I can
when
be whipped, but
yeah,
I'm never whipped with the wrong person. Never.
nditsho
I've been
kaloku
whipped
kodwa
once.
kaloku kungenzeka ukuthi Delilah naye ekugqibeleni once was enough. No, Samson nobody whipped once.
Nah,
Good Delilah wakhe.
Solomon. I
Ewe,
mean,
sujaji
Samson was a moron.
Samson.
I'm judging
Sujaji
him.
Samson. Delilah
That's
had
why
a
I
whap
wish God would
whap.
give me super strength.
Nje uzagcina uDelilah sifike ke singabantwana base-elections wakhala
God,
uDelilah ekhalele Samson.
what if the reason why I'm growing my hair, God is giving me super strength?
Ndicinga loo nto of Delilah and then
Actually, speaking about my depression, man, I feel like I got depression as soon as my cousin cut my hair, man. I feel like I lost my power as soon as she cut my hair. Because it is pungola. Because she said it was all messy and one. I did feel different after it.
hamba
I felt
Samson,
different. I
hamba
blame her.
Samson,
I
Samson,
blame her. She cut my hair.
hamba Samson.
Anyways, we need to
Endigqibayo
end this
bakethana
podcast, man.
bengekho
Like,
Delilah.
any last words? Not about work,
Um,
please.
no. It's not like I think we've been idiots for quite some time. We forgot what the hell we were doing.
No,
We
but this is
forgot what we were doing.
this episode is about mental health, right? This is healthy. Humor. Humor is healthy. It's part of healing.
Um, but get as I said, any last words that I have to say to
Mm,
people? We all go through things,
mm,
you know, and the one thing that we can't do is compare our problems because what is
mm,
big for you is small for me, and what is small for me is big for you. And the minute that you start to understand that your emotions are valid will be the minute that you'll be able to heal yourself, because the healing does not go according to who's around you or who you friends with or where you work. The healing starts with you. What do you want? What have you identified about your problem? And our problems are not the same because we suffer from different isigulo. I mean, being umntwana omXhosa, they used to say abantu abasendlwini kuthiwa izigulo zethu azifani, yabo. Um, we suffer from different things, and ekugqibeleni, regardless of the size of whatever you're suffering at, it's valid because it doesn't make you sleep at night. It's valid because it messes up with your current relationship and your current state of mind. It's valid because it's something that disrupts your happiness. So you shouldn't exempt it okanye remove it just because kukho umntu othe kuwe ba incinci, you know. And ubuncinci bayo nobukhulu bayo is determined by you.
mm,
But kuyo yonke loo nto, the one thing that you really need to learn to determine okokoko is how you deal with situations.
mm,
Because um awukwazi uzingcwaba ii-situations, awukwazi uzifihla, funeka uzingcwabile ii-situations zakho.
mm,
And there's a difference. If ungumntu ongumXhosa uzawuyazi there's a difference between into efihliweyo nento engcwatyiweyo. Into efihliweyo comes into light again.
mm,
Into engcwatyiweyo, it goes back down into the ground. Ihlale phaa forevermore. So you need to learn to deal with your situations one step at a time and start with what you can.
mm,
Things that you can't control, such as other people's behavior,
mm,
external factors
mm.
like work and things. You can't control those things, but you need to start dealing with the things that you can change. And if you can't change the things, change yourself. If there's something that you can't
Change how
change about
you
society,
respond. Change how
change
you respond
yourself.
to it. Yeah.
Because it's easier to change yourself than to change situations and people.
Mm,
If you're with a person that you feel as though is making you feel a type of way, leave that person, change yourself
mm,
so that you can learn to be the best person that you can be. And always in every situation, learn to be selfish.
mm,
I don't know how many times I have to say this to people. You must learn to be selfish. And when I say learn to be selfish, ask yourself, how do I feel about this?
mm,
Ungabe usithi, hi, if I do this, uzbanban is gonna break down. No. It's got nothing to do with them. It's got nothing to do with your family. It's got nothing to do with your partner. It's got nothing to do with your kids.
Mm,
You need to feel good. So learn to be selfish because your mental state of mind depends on it.
mm, mm.
A lot of people are killing themselves because of Windows. No, let me rephrase that. I'm
Wow.
sorry.
Yeah, that sounded bad.
A lot of people are killing themselves because of situations that could have been resolved
Mm,
with a simple phone call.
mm,
A lot of people are killing themselves and leaving loved ones behind because of something besinohlala phansi siyithethe.
mm,
A lot of people are killing themselves or are engaging in disruptive behaviors because of not wanting to talk about isn't
Actually, a lot of people are also killing themselves because we also refuse to listen.
true, true, true. And with us refusing to listen, it's crazy because a person doesn't want much from you.
Nothing at
They
all.
just want your eyes to be opened.
And your ears to be open. Wow.
You don't have to give a person answers.
Mm,
Like fuck, I don't even want people to give me answers. I just ramble. Now up until when they corner to dump my shit, I dump it and then I move. But that's how I deal with things. We're not gonna be the same.
mm,
Yeah, well. So all in all, I think to sum up everything, choose yourself every fucking day because you only have yourself. You don't have your kids, you don't have your mom, you don't have your dad, you don't have your partner, you only have yourself.
mm,
So if you learn to choose yourself and show up for yourself every day,
mm,
you'll be able to manage the mental disorder.
mm,
You're not going to be healed because I know sometimes some people go on schizophrenic mode and no, I'm healed from depression. No, depression is an emotion,
mm,
anxiety is an emotion.
mm,
Ebalulekileyo is when you get to that emotion, you need to be able to swim back.
mm,
So by choosing yourself, you can be get to that point, but ebalulekileyo is come back.
mm.
Buya, buya,
Oh, yeah.
suhlala. Because xa uhleli phaya kuthi gqine ezinye izinto and xa zisithi gqine ezinye izinto it becomes one problem after another after another after another up until you decide to eliminate the problems by eliminating yourself.
Mm. Oh, this is so beautiful, man. So beautiful. Woo.
So
Uh,
learn to come back. Choose yourself. Learn to come back every fucking morning when you wake up. If it means that you need to wake up and meditate, do that. I know it's not going to be easy for everyone because we don't all know what to do. But find a
some of us
ritual,
can't
a
focus.
routine. Find a routine that will give you a sense of purpose.
And eat
Find
healthy.
something that you enjoy.
Eat healthy. That's
Yes,
another
yes,
important thing. What you
yes.
eat does affect you.
It does. It does.
It
It
honestly
does.
does.
Jonga, I've noticed this. I've noticed this even with I drink. I don't sell them. I sell them. I don't sell them. I sell them. But
She's not
I
that bad.
become so
She's
disappointed.
just being dramatic.
But kaloku ndifuna niyazi uba ndiyasela. So andifuni ube nganantseli. Ndifuna niyazi uba ngiyaphosa. Yeah, but I've noticed that when I drink because of problems, I don't get drunk.
Mm, mm,
And when I engage in drinking okokoko, my life stops.
mm,
But when I have sessions such as this, or I watch seminars, or I listen to videos, or I read books, my mind becomes awakened. Even if I'm going through the most,
mm,
I go and then I come back
mm. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Coming back.
because I want to show up for myself. I love my child, but I'm not showing up for him.
Yeah, but we honestly need to stop throwing pity parties, man. Like we always want to be victims. We always, but I'm not saying what you feel is irrelevant. People, please don't
Hmm. Come to church.
misunderstand me. It is important to move, to not stand still.
Mm.
Growth is very important, which is why I tell you what you eat matters. Exercising is important. Like honestly, I can tell you it was very hard after all these years after I stopped gymming when I came back and started running because I was only running once when I first started. Now I run twice and exercise afterwards or before, depending on my mood, whatever. But in the morning, I normally exercise after because I'm not a morning person. But in the evening, I exercise first and then go run. And I can tell you guys, it is so
You looked up.
relieving. Like, leave the health part of your physique and what will look a certain way. Nah, I'm talking about how you feel.
Yes, the
Very
sense of
important.
accomplishment.
Exactly.
The sense of finishing a race, or you're finishing your time, or doing what ujikile nawo uthi uzawujika kuyo.
Dude,
You feel as though
going
you've won the everything.
like when you top how you feel, because nobody feels like, hey, I want to exercise. No, nobody feels that way. But when you
Mm-mm.
exercise on top of how you're feeling, because when you feel lazy and you actually do it, you feel so amazing. You feel so proud of it. It's like, goddamn, I can do anything. And you can't do
Oh, and
anything.
another thing is another way that I deal with anxiety. If I'm feeling a bit worried or feeling a bit agitated, I usually go for a run.
Yeah,
When I come back from it, I feel I,
free.
I feel a some type of way. I don't know how I feel, but I feel some type of way. So I always encourage people, if you suffering from anxiety, because anxiety, you're basically just jittery. Oh,
Yeah.
come on. Engage in that. Try and we're not saying baleko ma 100 Ks okanye. No, 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 no.
Nah, do
A
what you can
kilometer.
manage. Yeah.
Do even walk.
Hmm. Oh,
Power
I love
walk.
taking walks.
Brisk
I love
walk.
taking. I actually hate take.
Kaloku
Uh,
unenja wena. Unenja wena.
who say I walk with my dog? I love walking
Awuwalk nenja.
generally. No, he
Awuwalk
doesn't.
nenja.
No, she does her own walks.
She does her own walks. So
Yeah,
inja
shut up.
akayibotshelele na. It's a female dog.
Yeah,
You have
the
a
male one just died.
bitch.
Wow.
Oh, I
You
shame.
know what?
Rest in
Ayanda,
peace.
I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm tired of talking to you. I need to
Okay,
end
bye
this
bye.
podcast. um, give us your handles.
Queen Dogan. Oh, dude, it's Ayanda Dubula throughout. On Facebook, Ayanda
Spell it
Sansiwe
for those
Dubula.
people who are not black.
Ayanda
Ayanda
Dubula. On
Dubula.
Instagram, it's
Spell
Miss
it.
Dubula.
Mm.
On TikTok, I don't know why you'd go on TikTok, but I speak a lot about mental health on my TikTok.
I think I might hop on
Um,
TikTok to do what you're doing.
it's
I
it's
think.
it's honestly, I've noticed that a lot of people relate,
Mm.
and a lot of people have been reaching out through TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah, boy.
I actually want to apologize publicly. I didn't know TikTok had the type of content she's talking about until she started sending me these type of videos which are encouraging and educating you and stuff like that. So TikTok, the thing is, y'all guys made TikTok seem like it's just a challenge thing where people just dance and do stupid stuff. So I'm actually very happy that there are people who are taking time out of their day to drop knowledge and build people and encourage other people. So that's beautiful. Shout out to you.
Nigga, bye bye.
Listen, man, this has been fun. Thank you. I had an amazing day. Okay. But I'm tired of talking to you.
I spent my life with you. I spent 6 hours of my life with you.
Listen, I don't want to see you for the rest of the weekend now. I'm tired of talking to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, no, no,
Bye.
no. So send a lot. Whap, whap, whap. I'm actually gonna send
Whoa.
you a video right
Done.
now.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye! Bye, everybody! Satan is living! Okay, bye. Have a good